Alright peeps, welcome back to City Skylines with me Split City, and have you seen this nonsense bit of motorway here where we've got one bit of one-way motorway and the rest of it's two-way? Neither one anyone's using it and everyone's using this bit of motorway. It's the only way into this bloody Split City. Speaking of, why don't we actually name this city properly? Now, it is officially the Split City. Now in the last episode I did say I was going to fix this traffic here, and I probably could fix it by just swapping around this bit of motorway here over to its proper bit, you know. Sorting this out. And it would probably be alright, but you know me! That's not happening. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bulldozer tool from this roundabout here all the way to where the Sigmore Highway goes underground. And same with Ye Park Highway. So long! I'm also going to delete these bits of road here. They're not going to be required anymore, or they're going to need to be heavily reworked, to say the very least. Now, speaking of things needing to be heavily reworked, this bloody lane here needs to be sorted. It's been a nightmare from the start. Now, I'm going to delete this motorway back a little bit. Let's go that far back. And then we can rejig it just as we need it. And honestly, I can foresee some issues with these high power lines here, so let's get rid of these. Send them 50 metres under the deck. And don't forget to reconnect the old substation in. Well, we seem to have a bit of a situation here now, don't we? We need to delete these petrol stations, and we're going to have to do something better than the corner of a grid here. So let's delete this gravel road all the way back to there. Get it gone. And I think we may think about respecting the topography a little bit here, because there are some lovely hills. We'd hate to slap a motorway on there. Now this is where the episode gets interesting. I've built some custom roads, so if we get into highways, we're going to find that the mod hasn't loaded correctly. Lovely! Alright, has it loaded correctly this time? Can I show you me fancy motorway? I can! There it is! It's me big M2 with bus lane. Now why don't we just whip this bad lad out straight away? Let's get it all the way over to the other side of the Split City over there. Alright, the first stage of the new M2's been completed. Now we have had some letters from the farmer over here. He said, look, there's some fresh fertile ground over there with a tip tipping on it, polluting it. He said, do you mind routing your motorway around there, pal, please? If you would be so kind. And me being the bestest me around, I said, nee, bosh, mate. Let us sort that out for you. Like a boss. And there we have it. We've got a motorway avoiding the fertile land. Now all we need to do is somehow connect all of this together. And maybe remove the landfill as well. That was part of the contract with the farmer. Get the city's landfill back across the other side of the motorway. I think what we're going to have to do over this side is delete all of this bit of roads and infrastructure and everything all the way back to that motorway there, and all the way across the bridge to here. That's right, we're going to be putting a new motorway bridge in, and we may as well go and fancy with it because there are these new bridges in that I haven't played with yet. Ooh, suspension bridge. Let's have a look at that. Oh, it's alright, but I suppose we've had suspension bridges, haven't we? They've just been one ways. You know what, let's do a tied arch bridge. Do I do two arches with a post in the middle? Or do I do one arch across the middle? You know, what does it look like if I do a two arch number real casually like this? Does it look alright? I want to make sure that the foundations aren't knocking any zoning. Doesn't look like it. It looks like it maybe should be, so let us just real casually. There we go. You got the dual arch bridge there. Gone now on the river. Oh, I love it. Right, well, let's get this bit connected back out the map. Oh, now isn't that a bridge you'd like to drive across to get into the Split City? Oh, that is mint. Now all we need to do is connect this M2 bus lane onto it. There we have it. The M2 with bus lane connected on. Your regular old traffic and straight across the bridge. Your buses chuck a Yui come back into the city. Alright, now before this gets any messier, let me quickly sort out this bit fence. After dropping a safety save, of course. Alright, now we got the fences out the way. Let's get the motorway back on the crack. Now my idea here is I want to come alongside the railway and skirt this factory here. Get right on the back of the zoning. But I can only do this in one direction at a time. So let me do that. Parallel mode off. And it'll make sense why very shortly. Alright, so I'm getting my line at the back here where I shouldn't take out that factory. And I'm just going to go straight across the back of it like that. Perfect! It's exactly what I'm after. And now we can gonna be connecting this bad lad back in. A little something like that. And you know what? Now we got this in place, I can actually jump up 10 metres. Connect onto this little bridge and somehow get it done and connected and looking alright. 3.9% gradient. I think that's not too shabby. Aye, not too shabby. Right, so we'll pause construction over here for now. We're going to go back to the old populated section of the split city here. And we're going to get this motorway, very, very important bit of motorway done. The first thing we need to do here, get underground, find our way into connecting into this little lane here. And I want to come right up underneath the Heath pub there. That's not the Heath pub, is it? Which one is it? The Church Inn with Bistro. Right, so now we got our motorway underneath the Church Inn and Bistro. We need to come up without destroying the zoning on the aforementioned Church Inn and Bistro. Oh, and you can see as I connect in there, we actually get the clearance. So let's try and connect in here in such a way where it doesn't break the entire motorway, because it looks a bit sketchy. You know what, I'm just going to connect it in there and then fix it with a move-it mod. There we go, and the connection looks alright now. And this is where it gets interesting, because I didn't only make a custom motorway, I made a custom bus stop for said motorway. So let's get this bad lad placed. There it is, look at this beauty! It's the mid-motorway bus stop. Now I am going for a slightly different design than the one on the M2 up at Pennant Hills. There isn't such a great difference between the motorways and the bus stops, it's smack bang in the middle. But we are packed in here, like Sydney, so we're going to have to be creative. And being creative includes finding a way to send this 15 metres under the deck without interfering with anything around. You know what, actually, as terrible as this may end up turning out, I like having the entrances of the tunnels being like the same depth in like that. Look at that, same depth in. And yeah, we'll have to rejig this a little bit. You know what, let us quickly rejig this a little bit. There we go, and that looks a lot nicer, that, doesn't it? But we're not done yet. That's right, we need to upgrade this little busway here into a full-blown bridge. And that's because we're going to add a second busway, 10 metres under the deck, exactly underneath it. Now this is where we start differing quite significantly from the one in Sydney. We've got to put one MiGly touch on it somehow, you know. In Diffenbury, this double-decker bus stop will make sense soon. Let's quickly connect this motorway back up to its home here. Perfect. Well, since the cat's out the bag with me whole bus stop, why didn't we go back over here and complete this bit of motorway? And I can show you probably quite a bit more faithful recreation of the bus stop found in between the M2 and Sydney. So we'll plop that in the middle, and then we'll get our big M2 motorway back out, and then realise that I placed it all backwards. So give it the old upgrade jobby. There we go. And that's it, connected. Well, not quite connected. We need to get it up to the bloody bridge now, didn't we? Whilst avoiding this. And we're going to have to already move that because it's kind of in the way. It's actually only a tiny bit in the way as well. We only have to move this railway bridge the tiniest little bit. I might even be able to scooch the bus stop over. I'm going to intentionally do this one backwards, just so we can get the ramp nice, you know, doing to 0 metres. And there we go. Like I say, we're definitely going to have to do something about this railway bridge. We're losing a little bit of zoning, but it's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Oh, this needs to be looked at somewhat. Why is this not a bridge? There we go, and that looks a lot better now, doesn't it? And the clearance on the motorway for the bridge. Plenty of it. Once we get this, you know, air conditioning unit and building out the way. Don't worry, it'll despawn soon enough. Since this is a simpler bus stop of the two, why don't I show you how I'll make it work? Get our double public transport lane out, connect it onto here, and I like to send it out. Oh, what's happened here? I seem to have installed a mod that's changed it from meters to units. So let's say 2.33 units is how long I like to bring it out. It's usually about 20 meters or so. Then we switch to the one-way public transport lanes. Now I like to turn snapping off for this so I can get a nice clean edge. Come out. And I like to turn snapping on for actually connecting back into the motorway. Seems to make a difference on it actually like functioning correctly. Or at least the way I like it to function. And what I might try here, I might try and be cheeky. Just do a straight up connection. A little something like that. How does that look? It's a bit crap, innit? We're redoing that. So, snapping on for the motorway connection, and then we'll turn snapping off, and try and get it in connected nice and smoothly like that. Well, aye, that's a much nicer little exit, that. And you could finagle with a move it mod if you wish. Make it even nicer. Speaking of finagling with a move it mod, one thing I do, to make it more realistic, to make it emulate the Sydney bus stops more, is I bring these in to about halfway, trying to keep it straight so you don't end up with the dodgy lines knocking about. Bring it all the way away from your bus stop, and you'll notice on this last one, maybe, it dragged the platform over, but if you drag the platform over, you'll see we start extending the crossover points, and that was my whole thing of what I wanted to do there, was just bloody extend the crossovers. But that gives the buses time to cross each other and not clog up the platform or more importantly, not clog up the actual motorway itself. And the reason you have to do a crossover is you say here you're in the left lane, say you're left-hand traffic, so you're on the inside of the motorway, the overtaken lane, the fast lane, you come off, and because the platform's in the middle, your doors are on the left, you need to cross over to the right-hand side of the road so your passengers can get on and off on the platform. And then when you get back on the motorway, you need to be on the correct side of the road when you actually merge. And the reason you need to be on the correct side of the motorway when the eventual merge happens is because, well, the merge is eventual and inevitable. Alright, now we're not done here. We need a way for passengers to get here. Now, I've done extensive testing regarding pop-in paths, either on there, on here, on the edge there, and pedestrians will not use them. They didn't like it. However, if you pop one of our handy-dandy public transport lanes, just a little one, literally like a tiny little one like that, that's all it needs to be. If you connect a path coming off it like this, all the zebra crossings appear, you can plop that in, and that'll walk for your pedestrians. Now we'll connect this pedestrian path in later on. I need to get the road sorted first around here. Now we did waste some progression points in the last episodes on massive roundabouts, so let's pop a very large roundabout in there, a large roundabout on here, and a medium roundabout on here. We may as well get our money's worth out of them, you know. But now, in all seriousness, the very large roundabout here, we're going to be using immediately once we delete this bit of gravel road that's in the way. We're going to connect a 2-lane one-way highway straight to the roundabout. We're going to have it diving underground as we like to do. And now, before we get too far here, I'm going to obviously want to pop a bus depot in, otherwise we're not going to be able to make use of these big bus lanes I've got on the motorway. And I want it to be close to this roundabout here. So I'm going to pop it. Nope, that is too big. I cannot pop it in there. Or I could pop it in there if I didn't care about putting it over the top of the motorway. Where can we go with it? Going to cross here? Why are going to cross there? Or I can even closer. Pop it here. Ah, that looks canny. Plop it down. And then we'll just have to do a wee, just a real quick one of these. And there we go. No problems whatsoever with that. You know, can I upgrade this to be retaining wall? Aye. Both sides of that retaining wall. Make it look a little bit nicer in there. Look at that tunnel and out. You see, I've got the fence line here, and I did bring it back, but I want to reclaim as much of this forest as possible, you know, get those tons of trees back in. So let me get me a bit 2-lane highway, and I'm thinking I want to cut this corner and connect in just like that. Oh, I am happy with that. And as long as the bus drivers didn't mind, we'll be alright. You know, we'll even preemptively upgrade this. Sound barriers. So the buses didn't accidentally crash into oncoming traffic on the motorway. We can just cut the corner and the depot. Right, well now we've done the easy bit. It's time to do the fun bit. I think we've got an obvious point where we want to pop an exit here. Let's just pop it on 180 degrees. And actually, you know what? It's lining up there. If I do a simple curve, I might be able to do a tidy little in. Tidy little off-ramp there. Like nobody's business. And we'll do the off-ramp for the other side here. We're going to scoot across the boundary of the tip. Get 15 metres under the deck on a casual 9.8% gradient. And from here, we just need to come back up to ground level without intersecting too early, which might have to be done without snapping on, and connect in just like that. Oh, beautiful. I love it. Now, I will say I've somewhat backed myself into a corner here, haven't I? When it comes to getting this on-ramp, getting it after this exit here. Because there is a nice obvious place for an entrance here, but it's before the bloody exit. It'll be a nightmare. We're trying to avoid unnecessary traffic nightmares. Well, instead of thinking about that, why don't I take the outside lane here, send it under the tip, and connect it back up to the motorway like that. Oh, look at that. We even have like pair tunnels again, tunnel pairs. I love it. Come off, get on. Beautiful. Loves it. Absolutely loves it. Oh, now I have to do this though. Alright. It's time. We've snuck underneath the bus trap there. Now all we need to do is connect onto here at probably quite a slow speed, unless I can do some shenanigans. Maybe skirt to the right a little bit, and then come around, connect in like that. It gives you a bit of a run up. Nah, that angle is horrendous. We're redoing that. Get the continuous curve off. I'm just gonna knee snap this jobby in. It's gonna look grand. There we're gone. That's a much nicer curve to get onto the motorway with. And don't worry, we can just use a bit of move it. Shift things around, and then all of a sudden, there's no retaining while on my bridge there. Now, I would like to say that's us done. It is us done with the motorways at least, but we do have a big unconnected garbo heap here. And we need to make sure this farm stays connected, so let's get out. We're fancy little gravel roads. Get these all connected back in. Make sure they're happy. And I'm going to turn anarchy off for this because we need to go 15 metres under the deck. But quite steeply. Whilst avoiding this convenient, very inconvenient on-ramp that I made. I do not have a slope too steep. And we are not overlapping the on-ramp. Providing I'm in the middle of the motorway there, do you see? So I'm going to have to come off one. I'm colliding with the on-ramp. Now I'm not colliding with the on-ramp. I'm underneath it. I'm underneath the motorway. And I need to connect up to somewhere. Ideally with a more reasonable gradient. So let's get Garnet Lane out the way. We may be able to come up there. You know what, let's start with the gradient. I'm just going to go 15 metres under the deck. And see if I bring it in, I start colliding with the on-ramp. If I bring it out, I start colliding with the actual motorway. So there's a sweet spot here. Let's make sure I'm 180 degrees out. We'll plop that in. And now we just need to make this ridiculous little connection here. Shouldn't be too bad, genuinely. There we go. And that's not the worst bend I've seen in my life for an old gravel industrial road. And look, everything's underneath the motorway. Now it's poking through. It's all looking good. We're definitely permanently losing some zoning here, but that is unfortunate. Can you keep your home, maybe? Why, aye, the factory's kept it. Bit factory there. Under the motorway bridge. Oh, I love it. I'm loving this. It's coming together. It's coming together. That's right. I need to sort out the underground lines here. Because there's no longer a connection. Actually, do I need to? Because the water's connected to this grid here. Yeah, the water's already in there. Now, what about power? Is power already in there? Aye, power's flowing through the gravel road. It's not cut off by the motorway. That's what was happening last time. We're cut off by the motorway. But we are fine in this industrial estate. The motorway is done. I think we just need to put the little cherry on top. Oh, no, no, no. We need to real casually sort out this railway bridge first. So, during some jiggery-pokery, this pillar went in a spot-on place. This pillar, we need to casually move it over just a little bit in between the bus lanes there. We're fine across here. The motorway snakes around the farm there. Then the motorway used to follow the train track. But the farmer said, nah, give me my farmland. Alright, so if we go on this direction, we need to sort this bit out. And I think we're better off scooting it out to the left here. Because that's the side of this bridge that it's on. And I don't mind it being in with the pylon and the key there. We'll just say it's all connected. But now, I just need to real casually sort out this little S-bend. So why didn't we do that? And there we have it. It's a bit wibbly-wobbly, but now compared to what it was like before. We've still got all the pillars in the right places. That's looking good. And what we can do now is connect the path up. Now, of course, we're going to have to be sending this path underground. And honestly, I think we're just going to keep it as a big straight path, connecting it to that underground S-bend there with the gravel road. And then people, when they get off the bus, they can go into the Garbo yard and work there, or they can go into the industrial zone and offices and work there. And speaking of bus services, we need to put bloody bus stops on, didn't we? Let's put a bus stop here and a bus stop up the other end there. But as I was saying earlier, we got to put the final finishing touches on. And this is my favourite part about all of this. Removing U-turns, removing unsafes, telling the bus to chuck a U-turn. But that's not my favourite part. My favourite part is this little bit of red road there. Look at it. Look at that little bit of red road there. Oh, little donut. Little bus lane donut. Well, there we have it. There's me bit Sydney M2 extravaganza. Actually, I lied. That's me Sydney M2 extravaganza. I upgraded the bus stop to be keys. I think it looks a bit nicer. Bit of pedestrian safety as well, you know. All those flying cars. But let us leave this industrial estate that it's now complete. Oh, and move on to this nonsense craziness that I'm going to have to do. Oh, yeah. This is going to be a 1.5, this, like. An absolute 1.5. Let's crack on. Let's do bits that we know how to do. Give me that little stubber double lane. Let's connect all these bus lanes up. Big crash. One game crash later, we've got it back in. Now all we need to do is work on our little pedestrian spur. It's gone 10 metres underground. And try my best to replicate it without popping through. I've got a fix for that. Retaining wall. I'll put one on this bit of motorway as well. Now I suppose the main thing we're doing different here is when we connect underneath here. Let's make sure that is the underneath one that's connected. Aye. We're actually going to be going underground. Fully underground. So we don't have to worry so much about it popping through. And that's because these bad lads, they're connecting straight into this bit of motorway here. On the inside lanes, of course. And there we have our inside bus lane connections from this end. And on top, from this end. Oh, it's coming along, it's coming along. Right, what we need to do now connect a little pedestrian path. And you know what? Why didn't we just connect into this bad ladoon here? Alright, something about me thinks we need to make this a two-part path here. There we go. It looks a lot nicer now. And I didn't even have to use a bridge. So now what I want to do is connect these two decks with some sort of public footpath. And I think the easiest way to do this is to go underneath the motorway here. A little something like that. It's definitely not conflicting connecting. Although we definitely need to upgrade this bit of the motorway to a retaining wall. And then from here, we should be able to come up to plus 0 meters and connect in to this path right there. And yeah, this path's going to have to be redrawn, just in general. But I'm thinking we come down here, connect all of this up, as well as reconnecting it back there. And there's no point this being a bridge, like, we can get rid of that. Just be a plain out pathway. And now to do the part I've been dreading. The on and off ramps for this crazy place. Let's start with the initial site because it's slightly easier. And I have been thinking about this. I've made a whole new road just for us. Oh, the mod hasn't loaded properly, has it? Alright, then I can't be bothered sitting here for 5 minutes reloading. So, we're going to be doing the 4-lane divided road with parking D. We're going to be upgrading this existing road all the way to the first little connection there, which is where the Fox Inn is. Damn it, it's the Heath. I'll get them the right way around it one of these times eventually. Maybe. Probably not. But that gives us a couple of more lanes to deal with coming in and out. I was toying with the idea of making this a little one-way loop, but nah. I didn't fancy it. I'm going to do that over here instead. Make this a big one-way loop. One of the things I've decided I'm going to do with these motorways is I'm going to have one off-ramp that services both sides. It comes off in splits instead of having two separate off-ramps. And I'm hoping that helps with any sort of traffic at all. And I want to try and keep the lanes to a minimum to try and not confuse this AI, because it's a bloody nightmare to work with. It just starts crossing lanes willy-nilly for no reason. So we're going to come off here, snake around, and we're going to come directly beneath the motorway carriageway there. Ideally without connecting in. I want to stay 25 metres under the deck here. A little something like that. And we shouldn't be connecting in with anything. Although I did mess up the placement with that somehow. Ooh, I should have anarchy off as well, to make sure I'm not accidentally connecting in with anything. Alright, there we go. So the only thing I'm overlapping is the thing I'm overlapping when I'm nowhere near it. So let's get down in there. We're definitely underneath the motorway now. Alright, let's get up into 2 lanes. Just until the middle of the bus stops here. Alright, we're switching back to into 1 lane. I've connected onto the left lane there. And we're going to do a casual 90 degrees ending under the hill there. And looking at that, the only thing it's overlapping with is itself. So I'm going to go ahead, take this off. I know any further up, I'm going to be in the city limits. So when I turn this off, I'm just going to go up. Place that in. We're going to come up to 0 meters. This is going to be our first little connection in here. Well, let's turn anarchy off to make sure we stay within the city limits as well. There we are, connecting. Staying within the city limits. Oh, bloody overlapping items. Shut up, I'm within the city limits. That's all I care about. Right on the edge of the city limits there. But I'm in it. Ooh, and now, before I forget, I need to pop a bridge in. And we're going to do a lovely 2-lane wooden covered bridge. The reason being is, if I do a little truss bridge here, you can see the actual trussy arch bit of the bridge. The trainers are going to crash into it. So we're going to have to do one of these bridges where the train can get out on knee bother. Get under knee bother, rather. There you go. And the only thing it's kicking off about is the fact it's overlapping the item with the train. And I don't even care about that. Get plopped. We'll sort out the heights and everything like that when there's a train going by. But we definitely need the bridge there. Alright, so we've done our off-ramp on this side. We just need to do our off-ramp on this side now. And I want to do it right here, the second it comes underground. Connect in and chuck a tidy 11% gradient UE. We're going to send 1 lane straight out of here, underneath all of this. A little something like that. And while I'm here, we may as well connect these two together. And I was about to say we'll upgrade the tip there to be 2 lanes. But we won't upgrade the tip there to be 2 lanes. Because I don't know why, even though I don't have the tunnel option on, it just always forces a tunnel. Look, I can turn all of these off here. Oh, the bloody... Alright, ignore me. We'll upgrade the end there to be 2 lanes. You know, while we're here, why don't we bring this out? Look at that, plus 0.8% gradient on that tunnel exit. Using the topography, even if we're not strictly respecting it. So on this side, we're going to go straight from 2-lane motorway to 2-lane one-way roads. And connect into our city just like that. Isn't that bloody lovely right there? Nice little 2-lane connection in. Alright, back to this brain teasing nonsense craziness. Nah, I love it. Honestly, I love these motorways here. Like, playing with the elevation, making sure, like, we got 15 metres, we've got 25 metres, we've got bloody 30 odd metres doing there and all, just to get it all together. This one's going to be a nice steep little incline for the peeps. Let's come out 180 degrees-ish. And we're going to have to raise up 25 metres. You know what, actually? I'm going to swap these around here. I'm going to have the one on the right go left and connect up with that little section there. The one on the left here, I'm going to loop over the top of that. 15 metres like. So we're up to 20 metres. Let's get up to 15 metres with a tidy little U-turn. A little something like that. And now we just have to get from 15 to 0 without being stoked to sleep. Which I think we've done right there. Oh, and we got the combined tunnelled pairs. Pair tunnels. I love it. The very best. Now please tell me this intersection's real. It is. I think it's real. I think I can make that work. I don't think it's too dodgy. I love these little twin tunnels I've got going on here. I love it. So now all we need to figure out is how we create more space over here by deleting this petrol station. And as well, I'm thinking I may have to shift this school. First of all, I'm going to flop it around and then I'm going to move it just next to the medical centre there. Just like that. And that magically clears up some space for our little off-ramps here. Or they'll be on-ramps, wouldn't they? Because they're coming out. Right, now coming off, I have a feeling if I end up down here, unless I can get to like 35 metres without it being sloped too steep, which I seriously doubt. Oh, and I suppose while I'm getting down there, I can't interfere with anything either, can I? So instead, I think I'm going to escort up where the old school used to be. Casual 11.11% gradient. Get under the city. And to be fair, this actually leads us on quite nicely to pop a tidy little exit back on here. And I might even be able to line it up in such a way where it looks nice when it connects on. Oh, look at that. That does look nice when it connects on. Now I'm just plopping a bit of underground motorway here, ready to be placed, ready to connect into. And that's just purely so I can easily get this connected back into here and get under the motorway without having to worry about cutting into the motorway and things like that. And then if I want to merge after this exit here, I'm going to have to maybe pop another bit of motorway across the top. How far until this goes completely underneath? There we go, and that looks alright. Well, I'm only overlapping myself, so I'll deal with that. Oh, there we go. The only items I'm overlapping with are the ones that I'm actually using. Get yourself connected in there like that, laddie. And then we do our big 10 metre... Look! That's what I needed to delete more of this bloody high power line. I didn't delete enough of it earlier. 50 metres under the deck. Connected in. Well, as I was saying, we've done a big 15 metre gradient on the old motorway here. So let's quickly connect over to here without getting in anybody's way. A little something like that. And that's the first side of the city connected. Both ways on the motorway. On and off ramps. It only looks a bit heckers from the top. So all we need to do now is do the off ramp for this side of the city. Well, I know I've just had a mad little idea. I wonder if I can get it to work. Let me quickly, for no reason in particular, upgrade that bit of railway there. Let's go. It's not saying slope too steep. Connect it in. Look at that mad little on-ramp. Little schnicky boy. And yeah, we're going to have to do a bit of work with him. Alright, quick jump cut. I had to figure out getting this big motorway 35 metres under the deck to cross under not only the first bit of motorway / public transport buses, the second link bit of motorway that goes underneath the first bit of motorway. It had to be the third bit of motorway on this little stack here. But now we've got a 35 metre on-ramp there and a 15 metre on-ramp here that we need to get connected somehow. So I'm thinking let's do it 10 metres at a time, eh? Doing to 25 metres and now we're doing to 35 metres. And it should be a very simple task. I've just gone out here a little bit. Now actually I might redo that completely. Connect in under here, lovely jubbly, and then connect in just like that. And there we actually have it. All of the motorway on and off ramps connected in that underground mess. And if you didn't want to see that underground mess, just go overground, and you've got a lovely little overground mess to mess around with. Well, what I need to do now is quickly get this road back in place. I've just connected a second path in there, because I noticed that the crossings weren't on. Because I want to make sure, before I run out of money, because I see it going down very, very quickly, I want to make sure I at least get some bus stops in here. And that includes, if I go to underground mode, 1, 2, 3, 4 bus stops. Alright, let's deal with these underground pipes and that need to get sorted out. We've got a lecky connection that can be gone from there. We've got some water connections that can be gone from under here. And a lecky connection that needs to be redone there. And hold up, did I just see this nonsense? This all went into the wrong road. I'm going to have to redo that. It didn't mess about this time. Get connected into the correct set of lanes. You know what, actually? Connect into there, no bother. And then I'll upgrade this bit to a 2-later. And that will achieve the exact same purpose. But anywho, as I was about to say, let's get on to doing these bloody little connecting alleys. From the bridge into the end of the French corner there. Straight up an hour. And I am also going to pop an alley off the side of the alley to service this transformer station here. Keep the power flowing and all that. Now the alley on this side, it's a bit different. It's a bit more different here. It's a bit more complicated. We're going to be going one-way alleys and connect them in just like that. Going over the top of these bad lads. Now we will, of course, have to fiddle about a little bit. And there we have it. For the 15th time this episode. But it's actually in. All of the roads are in and I've got 37 grand to spare. That's bloody unheard of, that. I must have forgot something, like. I shouldn't have any money left at all. That's how road upgrade building projects go, isn't it? I even put a bridge in and everything. That's right. Gotta leave myself a bit of money for the Lecky bus upgrade. The people that live over here in the split city, they split all of their noisy industry far, far away. They're not going to put up with buses going in and out. You know what? We've chatted about this imaginary bus service for far too long now. Let's actually get started with it. First stop there. We're going to go all the way to the industrial estate. Connecting just like that. And of course, come back again. And I'm going to do the exact same grafters line from where all the people live into the grafters area, the big industry and office area. And we're just going to utilise both of these bus stops here for that. Hopefully that'll ease a little bit of congestion. Well, assuming the people actually want to use this bus stop, it'll ease a little bit of congestion. And these underground bus stops, these bus stops are for our out-of-town connections. Bringing all of the tourists in. And pathfinding failed? Oh no. What's the matter? How did I mess it up? Ah, it would seem that that little bit of bus rail there is not actually connected. Ah, you can see it's not connected there. Well, let's delete this. Let's go on 10 metres under the deck and definitely connect onto there. Ah, I can see it all shifting underneath there. You can see the bus stop moving. So, let's get doing to 15 metres. A little something like that. And then now we're doing it 15 metres. We just need to connect back in. Hopefully a little something like that. Now, did that work? It looks like it worked. Yes, we've got the buses coming in and the buses going out before they get on and off of the motorway. Now, what about this one? Did this work? It did, it did. Perfect. We'll leave that running. Now we'll test that. We've got the bus coming in. And then it's going to stop. Underneath here. This little bus stop. No, not the one above. The one beneath. This little bus stop. Oh, look, it's in. It's in. It's connected in. It's doing a little weird thing at the end there. Oh, I think I'll have to pop a U-turn on there. Let's complete this line. And then we'll pop a U-turn on. Complete the line. Complete the line. Hang on, what the... Where are you even going? It goes up there, all the way out here, and then goes... Oh, you can even see the line, look. It goes all the way across the back here. What are you doing that for? Oh, look. This isn't connected, is it? Because you can see it's round there, and it's not... Die! Bloody two dodgy bits of motorway on this map. I mean, I can let it slide. It is a beautiful map, like. And I know just how much effort this surfaces and fences and stuff takes, so... Yeah, nah. Still a bloody fantastic map. And if you do end up playing this map, and it hasn't been updated since I downloaded it, make sure you check these little connections. They might be causing havoc in your city. Oh, and there's the bus lane sorted. Gone back to its new spot there. Well, let me quickly do the bus stops for the rest of these areas, and I'll catch back with you. Well, I've got all my lines set up here. Let's take the Denham line, for example. All of these are electric buses, but all of the out-of-town lines... They're $50. Straight up minimum assigned buses. My grafters lines, the eastbound and westbound line, they're cheap. They're only $42. But they've got maximum assigned vehicles on them. And to pay homage to the buses that use this type of motorway bus stop system in real life, I've left the actual lines the colour of the ones in real life for the grafters. But we can't resume the game just yet though. If you remember, under here we've got no U-turns enabled. We need to get U-turns on there. We need to sort out all of these lane connections on every single bit of road that we've just made. For example, where these bus stops connect onto the motorways, we need to remove unsafes so the buses and stuff don't start merging on all the other connections. So I'm going to do that all by myself. unless there's some extra spicy ones that come up. Turns out there's nothing particularly special. I just went, removed dodgy U-turns, removed all of the nonsense, removed all of the unsafe ones. That's how I'm handling this connection. So hopefully only buses will actually use this. And I do need to go around and remove every last traffic light from this bloody map, like. But I have a feeling the reason it hasn't been so interesting on the whole lane connector side of things is I actually meant to upgrade this road here. At least a decent bit of it. And I'm thinking if nothing else, let me see about upgrading the entire outside here. Alright, well with that upgrade done, so as much as it's impossible to see here, we do have our 2-lane road going all the way down there. 2-lane one way, that is, because we've upgraded the gravel roads in some areas to regular old 2-lane roads. But we've also included some asymmetric numbers. And look how much we respected the topography there. Up and down and up and down. That's how we build our roads. I whacked a little bit of Chinese low-rent housing down around here, just to get it all filled in. A bit of Eastern European. And I was, because we finally updated, we finally got the mixed housing. I was going to zone all of this UK mixed housing for the UK estate here. However, I understand there's big bugs going on. Big glitches with the mixed housing of the UK variety, so we're gonna have to go on French mixed housing. There's nothing we can do with it. And as well, the French have declared that this bit of the street is also part of the French Quarter. So that's all going to get Frenchified up there now. And before we run out of money completely, let us connect a tidy little pathway, a little something like that, to connect the French Quarter to all the new French mixed residential buildings that are going to be put up. I said in episode 1 they were going to end up expanding and taking over. I knew it. But yeah, I do believe if I press resume, we unlock a bookshop! A bookstore located in the commercial area of the city. The variety of books is rich, which meets the needs of citizens of all ages. Why, aye! Get a little bit of a bookshop on the gun. But I was saying apart from these cars all figuring themselves out, get off the bus lane! Aye, this is your one and only time. I'm not gonna delete yous for being on the bus lane. Yous were spawned up there, I'll give you that. Look at them giving way, it should be the other way around. Can I control that actually? Priorities tool. Yes, you need to give way. No, sorry. You have priority. Okay, so no is the answer to that. I don't have control over that priority that I wanted. But they shouldn't use it anyway. It's actually useless for them to use it, so they shouldn't. What's this? Oh, bloody I need to get rid of all of these nonsenses, didn't I? Be gone. Why we got any power? Why we have no power? I'm not actually sure why there's no lecky. I'm pretty confident there should be lecky. Yeah, the usage here is at 0%. Everything should be flowing through this. I mean, I haven't broke the high voltage line. It's still there. It's still working. It's exporting the power, no bother. It's just not coming over here. Have I deleted over here somewhere? Nope. I mean, look, I'll delete this again. So look, no connection. You know what, actually, I'm just going to replace this whole amount here. Yeah, I know it's under the map. It's outside the city limits and everything like that, but I don't know what else I can do. Connect these two together. Alright, they're not saying it's not connected. So now we're straight up 50 meters underground. Connect onto here, which is saying it's not connected. Connect straight into there. Now it's saying it's connected to the high voltage power lines. It should at the very least be like importing power for not getting it from over there. Why is it not working? And of course I can't afford another substation. How much is it to move this? 7.5 grand. Maybe I'd give it a bit of a move with a move it mod. Will I get it to work? Oh, it looked like it got it to work. There we can. It just needed a bit of a move with a move it mod and it was fine. Hey, well. Oh, look at that. We have a passenger waiting. Look, passenger. Grafters line eastbound. They're waiting to get in. Oh, we've got a bus. A bus en route. I was going to say you're green, so you're not a grafter's bus. You know, why don't we join in with Katrina here? We're going on a first-person adventure. Currently, she's just sitting, waiting for the bus. Nice and sheltered from the rain and the wind. Here comes a grafter's bus. It's getting back. It needs to quickly do a little loop around. But once it comes back down, you'll be able to hop on. Katrina, step up and get on that bus. There she goes. Katrina's on the bus. And therefore, we're on the bus. Let's take a bus journey. There was a decent little bus journey in it to Grafton back. How's the fast lane of the motorway treating you on your bus? Big 75 kilometres an hour with that lecky bus. We're going to be dropped off to work in neat time. Don't forget the bit of the motorway that scoots around the new bit of form. Used to be straight. No, it's not. On we're in. You should be getting dropped off here. Am I going to follow you? Nope. See ya! I guess I'm the bus driver now. Alright, now let us follow Katrina here into the pedestrian subway under the world and our to Graft. Oh, that's enough stalking, Katrina. Let's get back at the bosses. Oh, look at those big 3 green arrows doing there. Making all the money. No doubt. Due to our lovely public transport system. Let's have a check. Services. Transportation. We haven't made it. Oh! I was going to say we haven't made any fees yet, but we certainly have a very, very profitable public transport system. And that's what the M2 offers. Only the very best in public transport money-making schemes. Look at this beautiful double-arch tide bridge here. Oh, it's a beauty! I actually love this motorway so much. Look at it. Straight on with the bus lanes. Straight on with your bus stop in the middle. You've even got loads of pedestrians using it already. I mean, obviously, for making bloody 800 and whatever grand an hour out of it. Look at this beautiful snaky motorway. Somewhat follows the old railway there. And then you get into the old populated section. Oh, look. The old Chinese low rent buildings are coming in, as well as all of the traffic that comes with it. Oh my, look at this traffic. But which cars are parked and which cars are in late traffic lanes? Tell you what, it is beautiful. And I wonder if we can find someone that's going underneath and get like an actual view under there. Under at the below ground bus stop. Look at them, they're using the bus stop. They're sitting there waiting. Oh, I bloody love it, like. Let's do one thing real quick. There we're gone. New it looks a lot more like the M2 bus stop in the middle of the motorway. Speaking of motorways, this isn't the bloody Blairwood Highway. This is the Hills Motorway. Non-toll edition. Not a single toll in sight. Or toll in sight. Yeah, I'm trying to think of something to do with this bit of intersection here without deleting it. And I think I'm just going to stop people turning left there. People can do U-turns if they want. Yeah, well actually that's all people can do there. They can just do a quick U-turn. It's only there to be a zebra crossing. Speaking of zebra crossings, we need to get rid of a lot of these. Like, that'll be causing a fair whack of traffic up here. But yeah, now I'm just going to go through, clean up these the best I can. Just make it so, you know, daft things like they aren't trying to get into the outside lane and that like that. Make it a bit tidier. You know what, actually at this point, I may actually just do that. So if you're on the left lane, you have to exit. Just to keep it simple. And that gives drivers all this time around this corner to figure out what lane to be in. So they'll all start switching around about here where the arrows are. I just noticed some bullshit going on here. Let me just real casually get these two together. Control H. And you can just be the same height as this one. Oh, it's a bit more iffy than that. Manual fixing. Let's go. There we go. We're looking a lot better now. Or at least we are if you're not living on the first floor of this building. Alright, to try and fix a little bit of congestion over here because we had the right turn, I've upgraded this into a 4-lane with divided road. Cleaned up these little intersections. Hopefully we don't have mad traffic exiting the city here, because this is where you need to exit the city, there's no other way. And I noticed while I was doing all that, I forgot to connect up Strawberry Bloody Lane. The Church Inn and Farmyard here have actually got no connections, road-wise, to anywhere else. They've just got the pedestrian path. So why didn't we real casually delete that and connect Strawberry Lane into the French district right here? And I think it's only right that we upgrade the whole thing with a bit of bitumen and reconnect the path. Oh, look, I even done a little bridge for absolutely no reason. Why would you do a bridge there? I do want a little crossing there though, so the pedestrians can get across. Oh, actually, it didn't need that, do I? We've already got the existing pathway, and putting the path this way leads pedestrians into the old Fox Inn here. Damn it, the Church Inn here. And it'll line their coffers, you know. And you know what I think? I think we should put the little French corner building up here. The old bottle building. The only issue is it needs to be facing the other way to be a proper bottle building. There we go. There we have it. Now that's a beautiful looking French corner there. Little French alley. I might see about continuing the zoning over here as well. I have also installed the Find It mod, which allows me to pick pots apparently. I wanted this whole building. There we go. Which will allow me to clone that building and fill in this little gap in the zoning here. Look at that. Beautiful little house. There we go. I found a better building that fits the spot and keeps all the zoning for the buildings behind there to zoning. We'll do a sneaky little house there now. But I digress. I have been faffing about, doing little detaily things for far too long. I mean, as much as I do love this big bus stop here. let me just leave you with this little speedy up bit of the Grafters Line eastbound, making its way down the Hills motorway, in brackets M2, delivering grafters from Yem to Graft and back again. What more do you want out of a bus service? Oh, and did I mention, it makes us a shite ton of money and all, so the mayor's not kicking off. But in all seriousness, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I've been dreaming of this little motorway system for far too long. I'm so happy I've made it a reality. It would already been a reality in Sydney anyway. But I think this has turned out awesome. The size constraints are really coming into it now. And I'm having a mad time of it. And you know what? It's only going to get more and more mental as we go on. But as I was saying, I'm going to leave you with this little bus route speedy up bit. We can observe how good or bad the drivers are at staying out of the bus lane and being courteous to the buses and the traffic. And from me to ye, I'll catch yous in the next episode, peeps. Toodles! I've got profitable public transport, profitable bus for me.